Hey folks, thanks for coming. This is mini concert number 247. First four songs tonight are all from like 60s or earlier. First up is a Donovan song that I heard back in, it was about 64 or 65 when I was at school. Yellow is the color of my true love's hair. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Blue is the color of the sky. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. And green is the color of the sparkling corn. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Mellow is the feeling that I get when I see her. When I see her, oh yeah, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Freedom is a word I rarely use without thinking, without thinking, oh yeah, about the time when I was loved. Yellow is the color of my true love's hair. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. So that's called Colors by Donovan. Next up is a Ian and Sylvia song, a Canadian folk duet. It's sort of a breakup song. For the strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. If our good times are all gone, then I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I think I'll go out to Alberta. The weather's good there in the fall. Got some friends that I can go working for. But still I wish you'd change your mind if I asked you one more time. But we've been through that 100 times or more. For strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. If our good times are all gone, then I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I get there before the snow flies. If things are going good, you could meet me if I sent you down the fair. But by then it would be winter, not too much for you to do. And those winds sure can blow cold up there. For strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. If our good times are all gone, then I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. That's Four Strong Winds. Next up is a Bob Dylan song. This has been called his anthem for change. I've kind of switched places in this song. And a verse about mothers and fathers. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are changing. Come writers and critics who prophesy with your pen, keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's meaning. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are changing. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. Be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. They'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly fading. Please get out of a new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly changing, and the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are changing. That's The Times That Are Changing by Robert Zimmerman. Yes, that was his real name. Next up is the medley of sorts. This is songs from pretty sure they're all from the 50s. All of my love and all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. All of my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Well, the stars appear and the shadows are falling. You can hear my heart a-calling. A little bit of love makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love and all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Rock and roll is here to stay. It will never die. It was meant to be that way, though I don't know why. I don't care what people say. Rock and roll is here to stay. Rock and roll is really cool. I dig it to the end. It'll go down in history. Just you watch, my friend. Rock and roll will always be. It'll go down in history. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class, but that was just a lie. They said you was high class, but that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. All of my love and all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. So that is Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Danny and the Juniors, and of course Elvis Presley. So this one is not quite so old. This one is a John Prine song. I've made some modifications to one of the verses, but I don't know who might be listening to it. Well, if you like your apples sweet and your streets are not concrete, you'll be in your bed by 9 every night. Take your hand-spanked, corn-fed gal and your best friend's four-eyed pal to a street right down the street that's dynamite. Well, let your conscience be your guide if you put your foot inside. You should have left Joel enough alone. Well, if you got hell to pay, put the truth on layaway. Blame it on that old crazy bone. Crazy bone. Crazy bone. You wish you left Joel enough alone. Well, if you got hell to pay, put the truth on layaway. Blame it on that old crazy bone. Don't get stuck up in Alaska when you should be in Nebraska on a Thursday when it's egg and daughter night. When the farmers come to town and they spread them eggs around, drop their daughters down at the roller rink. Well, you were probably standing there with your slick back real cream hair, your luckies and your daddy's fine tooth comb. Well, if they knew what you was thinking, they'd run you out of Lincoln. Blame it on that old crazy bone. Must have left your wisdom to that home. Well, if they knew what you was thinking, they'd run you out of Lincoln, laying on that old crazy bone. When the grandkids all are grown and they put you in a home, and eternity is approaching fast, well, you're half out of your head and you're probably wet to bed. You can't see a thing here at the last. When far across the prairie at the local cemetery, they've already got your name carved out in stone. So when all them nurses say, Grandpa, why you walk that way, just blame it on that old crazy bone. Crazy bone. Crazy bone. Everybody in that old folks' home, well, if they knew what you was thinking, they'd run you out of Lincoln, blaming on that old crazy bone. That's called either Crazy Bone or Egg and Daughter Night, and that is mini concert number 247. Thank you for coming, and don't forget to share.